Now, he hasn't done any press runs, but he did decide to do an interview with Vulture.com, and when he did that interview, he talked about various things. He talked about what inspired him to make the KOD album. He talked about while he was recording the album, what happened during that time. His mom even got involved in the interview and talked about the song Once an Addict. He talked about previous projects he had, marrying his longtime girlfriend, and his new son. And of course, the most controversial song on the album was 1985 because some new rappers felt like J. Cole was dissing them, and those rappers were Lil Pump and Smokepurpp. And since this interview was done recently, those responses from Lil Pump and Smokepurpp were asked about in this interview. If you don't know what happened between Lil Pump and J. Cole, Lil Pump and Smokepurpp, you can watch my previous videos. I'll link them in the description below. I'll also link the full interview with Vulture with J. Cole in the description below as well. While explaining the album, he gets asked, who is this album mainly aimed towards? And J. Cole doesn't really say who it's aimed towards. He just says, listen, this new generation of artists and people have a huge problem with drugs. The article says, while KOD takes aim at drugs more broadly, there is a more pointed reading that Cole's a rap traditionalist wagging his finger at the generation of SoundCloud rappers like Lil Pump and Smokepurpp who encourage excessive and careless drug use. The feeling is mutual. Last year, an unreleased Cole diss track by Lil Pump began floating around online. After KOD dropped, Smokepurpp led a Fuck J. Cole chant at a show in Atlanta. The reason? KOD's closing track, 1985, which finds Cole lecturing young rappers in no uncertain terms. So basically, Lil Pump and Smokepurpp are the only ones to react to this J. Cole song and take it as an offense and as a diss towards them. Smokepurpp, when he was performing in Atlanta just recently, had his whole fans in the crowd yelling F J. Cole. Lil Pump responded on Instagram saying that he's a washed up old head rapper. And J. Cole responds to this in this article saying it's really a shoe fits situation. Several people can wear that shoe. Why are you yelling at your show? You must feel attacked in some kind of way, must feel offended, and if you feel offended, then that means something rings true. Something struck a chord. That's cool with me. That's all I ever wanted to do. Just based off this response, you could tell J. Cole isn't offended by what they're saying or what they're doing. He just wanted to give them advice. It's not really a diss track. When you heard 1985, no one with rational thought really thought of it as a diss track. They just thought of J. Cole as someone being a mentor and giving them advice. J. Cole then elaborates on what the album is about. The article continues saying, for Cole, the target is more general. He takes aim at what he sees as the cartoon version of hip-hop. If you exclude the top 3 rappers in the game, the most poppin' rappers are all exaggerated versions of black stereotypes. Extremely tatted up, colorful hair, flamboyant brand names, its caricatures, and still the dominant representation of black people on the most popular entertainment format for black people, period. And this response also further proves that this wasn't just a diss track aimed at Lil Pump or Smokepurpp or any specific artist that raps about drugs. He was mainly talking to the black community of artists. The article then continues on and it shows J. Cole basically giving props to some of these newer rappers. He's saying that he's paying attention more to the newer generation than he did before. He said he's made his peace with the Lil Uzi Verts, the Lil Yachty's of the world. He even digs XXXTentacion, and he fucks with Trippie Redd, and now he even listens to Lil Baby's, and he says Lil Baby's song all of a sudden is stuck in his head for 4 days straight. He elaborates and says, I'm now in a place where I can hear people and get excited, like this kid is dope as fuck. I wasn't there before, everybody was trash. So basically he's saying his mentality grew up. He started listening to more of the newer generation of artists and not just disregarding everybody as trash music. He said while he was recording the KOD album, Lil Peep actually overdosed from drugs, and he said that was a weird feeling. He said, the album is already a warning, and this kid dies while I'm sitting in the studio mixing the shit. Do you know how creepy that was? That shit was heavy. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you want to check out the article, like I said, the link is in the description below. You can read the whole thing. It's very interesting if you're a J. Cole fan and you want to know where he's been at these past few years and what his mentality has been like. Go ahead and check it out. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. link. If you want to support this channel further, you can do